Alex in Orinda, you're on KGO with Ray Taliaferro. Good morning.
Good morning, Ray. I've been listening to you since 1991 when the Gulf War.
Oh, yes.
And I remember you were one of the few, if maybe the only people on the air opposing that war, and I agreed with you. And I remember you talked a lot about the April Glaspie incident.
Oh, yes.
How, our ambassador to Iraq gave Hussein the green light to invade Kuwait.
That is true.
And that is documented on ABC footage, I believe.
Oh, yes, indeed.
I've never seen that, but
Oh, very much so. And even the ABC network correspondent, Pierre Salinger, put together a report on it, a special on it, and he went right through it. He went right point by point by point.
Okay. Now, my question for you, since I've learned a lot from your show, the Iraq-Iran war was from 80 to 88, and then the Kuwait invasion was in 90. And, of course, in the 80s, Hussein was best buddies with Reagan and Bush.
Yes, he was.
So that was their man. What happened between 88 and 90 where that relationship fell apart?
Well, nothing really that you could, pinpoint, except that you have to understand how this country plays its international politics. They will use people when they feel it's good to use them, and they will join with them, even if they happen to be the worst people on the face of the earth. They'll join with them. They'll back them. They'll train them and help them out, give them whatever they need, give them billions of dollars, actually, in order to acquire what they need, in order to do what those in power at the United States in our country want done at the moment. And at that moment, they wanted to get rid of Ayatollah Khomeini, if you remember.
Right.
And so whatever Iraq wanted and whatever Saddam Hussein wanted to do, hey, it was cool by us. Officially, it was cool by us. So that's why the thing that rings really hollow. Well, he gassed his own people. Yeah, right. We stood right there when he gassed them, and as a matter of fact, we sold him gas. So it's and then at some other point when they think it's to their benefit to then turn on those folk, they do that. There's no single thing any more than you could look at George Bush, who hired Manuel Noriega.
Right.
And Manuel Noriega worked with George Bush for the CIA. George Bush bolstered his fortunes there in Panama. And then at some point wanted to make a lesson and flex his muscles and act less wimpish, and so he invaded Panama, right, in order to arrest the fellow that he had trained, who was on his payroll, as a matter of fact. And I'll stop with this, but the other case in point is Osama bin Laden. The United States of America hated the Soviet Union, hated Russia, wanted to do everything they could possibly do to help those who were beating the hell out of Russia. And so we, the CIA, the United States government, made friends with Osama bin Laden, who was the son of business partners with the Bush family in the Carlyle Group. And as a matter of fact, Osama's oldest brother was a direct business partner with George Jr., the one that is now sitting in the office of the President of the United States.
During the Harkin days.
Yeah, absolutely. So the United States government trained Osama bin Laden, supplied him with all the weapons that he needed. The CIA sent trainers there to train his people. And then, now look, years later, Osama bin Laden does something against us. And so Bush says, we're going to kill him, wanted dead or alive, I'll smoke him out, and all that sort of thing. So you cannot pinpoint. Now, so Saddam Hussein never did anything like Osama bin Laden. He didn't come to this country and kill off a bunch of Americans. So you can't pinpoint anything, really, that is that decisive, that's a turning point.
Other than the Bush family wants to control oil in the Middle
That's it. That's it. And some people even stated over the media in the last 48 hours that it is clear that what Bush wants to do is to capture Iraq, get rid of Saddam Hussein, so that he, Bush, and his family and their corporate friends can control the oil in Iraq because, they say, Saudi Arabia, the royal family, is going to fall. And once Saudi Arabia falls to militants like bin Laden and the others, then the oil source from Saudi Arabia will be shut off to the United States of America. So we're going to need another place, and that other place will be Iraq, you see.
Right. But don't we only get about 30% of our oil from the Middle East?
Yeah, right.
So why do we care so much about that?
Well, we don't. I don't. Ray, right, you don't, I don't, a whole lot of Americans don't. But it happens, the people who care the most are those who are hogtied to the oil companies themselves, and 30% represents billions and billions and billions of dollars a year, and so they are very tied to their pocketbooks. And to their bank accounts. It has nothing to do with politics, nothing to do with whether they are dictators, nothing to do with whether they're killing themselves with American poison gas, nothing to do with any of that. It all has to do with how much money can we get and how much can we project for the future, and how do we manipulate the governmental situations from nation to nation to nation in order to facilitate dumping more gold into our bank accounts. And that's about the size of it.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
Yeah, very sick. I appreciate your call. Thank you very much. It's very sick. It is very sick. And folks, believe it when I tell you, it's all about oil.